It's April 30, 2025, and I've got to help government ministers. I've got a way that police standards could be easily and greatly improved. Two basic ways, I think. Number one is have a 5-star feedback rating policy. That's for every interaction, and the person can do it by, what would I say, by phone. And they could maybe even use something like a QR code on. The police officer could carry a QR code, and you can use that to give a rating or whatever. I don't know. You figure out if there's a will, there's a way. But the point of this is the police is a fantastic institution. But what about individual police? Are they at the moment, in general, out of control? A law unto themselves, really, until that, in between that time where, say, someone's interacts with them and when they're due in court, and then we don't even know about the evidence and stuff. I'm looking on it on a sort of, if you think of a police person, do you think of competence? Now, I think people did in the past, and I'm sure there's a lot of them are competent, but I get a feeling that, just things I've seen that I feel, I don't really know, they do try their best and all that, but they've got an impossible job, so, but a 5-star feedback rating, it might, for instance, weed out bad ones, or not even bad ones that just aren't compatible with being a police person, It's not for them, really, because the important thing is whether they're competent or not, really. So that's the first thing. And then the second thing is the right to record. So any interaction, you should have a right to record. A lot of time the police will have a camera on themselves, so they're allowed to record. The person should be allowed to record, even if they're getting arrested aggressively. Maybe find some way to record them, even if it's a police camera, I suppose. Or someone's, quite often I think the police do come up, a police camera person comes as well, say protests and things like that. But yeah, so you should have a right to record on the phone, and you should even be told that, if you're under arrest or you're under arrest, you have the right to record this interaction. Yeah, just drive up standards and to, make the police an institution we trust in that. So, yeah, because the other thing about the police, a lot of times I've seen them and they're handcuffing people too tight and they don't know how to handle the situation. Why aren't they all karate experts or judo experts? Why aren't they all sent for karate or judo lessons, get up to a certain standard? Because the actual techniques that they use at the moment look ridiculous to me. They look far too harsh. They're putting all that stuff, handcuffing people around the back and all that. I don't really agree. There must be a better way than that. I don't know what. Maybe they could strap their arms to the front or something like that, and handcuff them, but not as tight. They're doing it far too tight. Or maybe the handcuff design's wrong at the moment. But anyway, that's my two things like that to drive up police standards, in my opinion. Because at the moment, I think the institution is magnificent. Britain invented it, I think, 1840s or whatever, Robert Peel. But individuals, I've got to the stage now where I expect an individual to, it's 50-50 if they're going to be competent, I think. So maybe it was always that way, I don't know, but because they've got an impossible job as well. But that's just my point about that. Police standards, too easy way to improve, in my opinion.